Thank you for double-clicking your mouse tonight. You're listening to the Midnight Frightcast in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Midnight Frightcast. We are on sexy episode number 69.
Woo-woo.
Yeah, because we're 13.
Mentally, some of us are.
Yeah, mentally. My name is Maddie. To my left, we have the Doctor of Filmonomics, Greg.
I like farts.
Thank you. That's a great way to start this cast.
I told you I was 13.
Oh, God. Across the table for me, we have the Doctor of Everything Else, Patrick.
Hey, everybody, how's it going?
And to my right, we have the Scream Princess, Josh.
I second the farts.
Farts are funny.
Farts are funny.
Farts
Indeed.
are funny.
Great.
Let's talk about farts for an hour.
There we go. That's our
That could
topic.
happen.
That's our new topic.
There's all sorts of different farts. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Maddie. Go ahead.
And on my last podcast,
Maddie's going to kill us all.
I know. Oh, God. So we just watched a trailer for the movie Antlers. What do we think?
I saw this trailer a little while back. Produced by Guillermo del Toro, so he's attached to it. So, yep,
said it.
I fucking say it. It's not. Anyway, I'm super excited about it. I think it looks really fucking cool. It's got that old del Toro style to it that reminds me a lot of his other stuff. Super dark. Really, really. It didn't. The trailer that we watched didn't give you a whole lot. There wasn't really a lot of dialogue, but the imagery is super cool, and it leaves you kind of wondering what all is going on. There's another trailer that's more dialogue, that the kid talks to the teacher in the trailer, and he kind of explains like what it gives you a little more explanation as of what's going on. But this trailer's legit. I'm a huge fan. I can't wait for this movie to come out.
If you're looking for an example of show, don't tell, it's this trailer that we watched tonight. And I think that it set the movie up perfectly. I love Guillermo del Toro. I'm definitely going to be in the theaters to check this one out because it looks fantastic. I almost want it to be like kind of a Quiet Place style where they don't talk throughout the entire movie. I know that's not going to be the case, but just how that trailer set it up was incredible. And what they gave us, it was awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I thought this movie had actually come out a while ago because I saw the trailer like months ago, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I feel like it kind of fell off the radar and then popped back up. So, Patrick, what do you think?
You know, without any dialogue in there except at the very end, it's difficult for me to decide whether or not I want to go see it. The imagery, I agree with you, Josh, was just beautiful. Not just beautiful, but intriguing, captivating.
Right.
Watching what was going on piqued my interest. But until I know more about what the movie's about, I don't think it's one I'm going to chase.
Hunt down the other trailers. It'll give you more info.
All right.
There's, like I said, a whole conversation between that kid and the teacher, and he kind of explains a little more of what's going on.
Yeah.
And then, like, that picture that you saw her putting together in that shot, they kind of talk about that a little bit too. So it gives you more in other trailers. It's the one we watched, there was no dialogue.
Do you think that's a kind of an overused trope, the kid drawing a picture and then people discovering?
A little bit?
I don't know. He's drawing a picture of his parents. Spoiler, there you go.
Well, if it's in the trailer, I mean, come on.
I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like how many movies use this? It's like they discover a picture that their kid had drawn, and then it's this big discovery.
Right.
But like kids do that though. Or at least I think they do. Watching Law and Order, that's what they do all the time.
Draw pictures of supernatural thing. I mean, that's the way I looked at it. But
draw pictures of their parents.
But you say it's
and, like,
their
demons
parents,
and shit.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, you know, like that's what I'm thinking is when I looked at it, I didn't see it was a picture of her parents.
Yeah.
His
like
parents.
Mason draws a picture of me on fire all the time. It's really weird. I don't know why he does that.
But he's buying gasoline by himself,
Yeah,
which is really
kids do that.
strange. Yeah, because kids do that.
Right.
But yeah, so I think the trailer's super cool. So you chase the other ones because it'll give you more.
Yeah, I'll take a look at the other ones.
So.
Yeah, as I said, this is one. I'm not going to see it in theaters, but I will definitely see it when it comes out. I think this looks really cool. And I did see the longer trailer, so it kind of had a little more in there. So we're going to drop that trailer on our Facebook, our Twitter, and our... Do we have another social media?
Instagram.
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 Yeah, we
okay.
gram that Insta.
I could go for some Instagram crackers.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Antlers releases April 17th of
Nice.
2020.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So far away. That sucks.
Yeah,
It really
that
feels like it, yeah.
Well, as I said, especially since the original trailer came out like months ago, that's a long time.
Well, and there were some movies that were supposed to release this year that I know got pushed until next year.
Yeah, there's some movies next year that got pushed like 5-6 more months out. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think Godzilla versus King Kong was supposed to be in April, and now it's like December or some shit.
Oh, weird.
So they pushed that one way far back.
Did King of the Monsters get pushed back?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm wondering if that was the case because that just came out middle of this year, I think.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, as I said, most of us are going to check out Antlers. Now we're going to go to our current events topic.
It's the current events.
Current events.
I tried real hard to avoid
They
that.
fucking did it.
I waited for it. Every time I'm waiting for it.
Fuck. Who's got news?
I got news.
Patrick.
From horrornews.com, it's been announced that the upcoming H.P. Lovecraft movie, The Color Out of Space, will actually be the first movie of a planned trilogy. Starring Nicolas Cage, the film is set to release in 2020. Directed by Richard Stanley, who has not done a movie in 27 years, and that movie was the deeply panned Island of Dr. Moreau.
I like that fucking movie.
It was panned, though.
Well,
I barely remember it. But
Val-
27 years without making a movie, and they're giving him something that big.
Right.
That's
I actually just
taking a chance.
Yeah.
for our topic tonight, I actually just wrote down, oh yeah, the H.P. Lovecraft movie, I forgot it, and then the second you said Nicolas Cage, I scratched it out. Oh yeah, that looks great. No.
But you know, it kind of matches Nicolas Cage's style of acting to be something just bizarre.
No, he's so irritating.
It can't be any worse than Mandy.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
he's
could
such
be
a
as
yeast
great as
infection.
Mandy.
Oh god. Anybody else?
I got one. I don't remember if we've talked about this yet or not, so I'm going to throw it out there, and if we've talked about it, just be like, dude, shut the fuck up. Freddy Alvarez is...
Oh, dude, shut the fuck up.
Yep, I knew we already talked about that. Freddy Alvarez is rebooting, and they're giving him a reboot of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He's not going to direct it. He's going to produce on it, I think. I don't know how much more they can do with this fucking movie. It's the same goddamn movie every time it comes out.
Yeah.
Nobody's done anything different with it.
Ooh, Rob Zombie should direct it. That'd be so great. That's totally his style.
He would just start with Leatherface as a child, though, and all the terrible things that kind of fucking happened to him, and then go...
He won't Halloween it.
You don't think he would?
I don't think he'd Halloween it.
I think he'd be really good with it.
It'd be
Because it's
his
not just
style.
about Leatherface. It's about the family.
The whole Sawyer
Right,
family,
yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess if anybody can do something kind of different to this, I think Freddy Alvarez is a good person to have attached to it. But like I said, I don't know how much more they can really do
Yeah, that titty
different.
is dry.
They've done everything, including, like I said, they did
Leatherface.
the kid, the Leatherface, that just came out, and that was terrible. So yeah, I don't know what else they can do, but I'll be curious to see what
They'll find something. They're going to bleed it dry and then some because
So-
that's what they do now.
Right. That was my news. I'm kind of curious.
I'm more on the stop. It's already dead.
Right.
Greg, do you got any news for us?
I have no current events.
Oh, okay. The only thing I have is Screen Rant put out an article today in the last couple days that said they think Halloween Kills could be the Infinity War of horror movies. And I'm not sure what they meant with that. I read the entire article and they never really explained what they were talking about. I think they meant like as far as bringing in the income, but I was just like, I don't think so.
No. I think this is another Tiffany article.
Is this Halloween Kills, and then there's another one after that, right? Or is
That's
Halloween
correct.
Kills the last
No,
one?
No,
Halloween
it's-
Kills is the next one.
Is the next one, and then
Yeah.
what's the next fucking movie? after
It's
that
supposed-
called?
Halloween, we've taken you for all your fucking money.
Yeah, that's pretty much
And
it.
you're dumber for having done it.
Yeah, they kind of talked about in this article that they think like Halloween Kills is kind of going to do what Infinity Wars did and like split like a story up into two movies, and I was just like, just let it die.
Nope.
I definitely go see that Halloween. We've taken you for all your money. I'm definitely going to that.
Halloween, we fucked you in the ass long enough.
Yep.
It'll just be Michael Myers just sitting in a dark room, just like
Suck it, bitches. I win.
Just counting money.
I
Yeah.
Sitting in a
win.
chair counting money.
it can't be any worse. Like it can't.
I'm sure it could.
Any more current events, people?
No.
I know. That's
Then
all I had. It was kind of dry the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
News-wise.
it was hard to find.
Then we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on real quick.
That was the current events.
Current events.
Okay, well, they shortened it because you said
did.
current events. So
Yeah, that was very
good.
nice.
You're just getting a long one next
Just
time.
note current events, so they
Yeah,
go short.
you're going to get the long one next
I'll
time.
take the long one.
You can be
Like
alone
you've
on
never
that.
had the long one.
What are we doing next, Maddie?
Josh, what have you been watching?
Well,
Yeah, Josh, what have you been
What
watching?
have you been
I don't
watching,
know if I can
Josh?
say it. So, honestly, I've been watching a movie called The Back of My Eyelids, which is a really, really good movie. It's a new indie feature. It's on Amazon Prime. Kind of dark and a little bit, I don't know.
Tiresome?
But, a little tiresome.
That's-
It's a kind of long. It's roughly 7 to 8 hours long.
That's not what he told us he was watching.
I've been watching Christmas movies with my
There it
daughter
is.
and
There
my
it is.
wife. There's a list, not really a list that they were going to make a 31-day list of Christmas movies. They didn't make the list, and then we just randomly been picking Christmas movies.
And I bet you're like so happy about that.
I haven't watched them all, and they right now we're in the like area of watching like the ones that I kind of like. It's when they start getting to the kind of older classic ones that I tap out, like It's a Wonderful Life and shit. I'm like, I'm not gonna watch that. I've never watched it.
It could be
so
like
I'm not gonna
all
start now.
day Hallmark Christmas. That would be worse.
That's
I think.
a bunch of those dropped on Netflix, so they're coming. So,
no.
but we've been watching like the Home Alones and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation and The Grinch and shit like that.
Do they
So,
get into the new ones that drop on Netflix? Like last year, I think was Christmas Chronicles with Kurt Russell.
They did watch that. I did not watch
No,
that.
I really like
I
that one
skipped
actually.
that
It was
one.
pretty good.
But yeah, that's what kind of I've been watching. So I drug my wife through 31 days of horror. So I kind of
She's returning the favor.
This
Yeah.
was
So,
revenge.
but yeah, it's not that bad. It's all right. I'm ready for it to be over.
Still got 4 weeks, buddy.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Patrick.
Yeah, I haven't had a lot of opportunity to watch things outside of more 2019 horror movies, trying to finish out the year. Nothing's really jumping out worth talking about that I've seen in the past 2 weeks in that sense. And the other thing I've caught up on is the reboot of Mad About You on Spectrum. I did enjoy that series when it was originally on, and I'm kind of enjoying what they've done with it now.
I think I asked you this the last time. Could you like currently, from what you've seen 2019, could you make a top 10?
Yes.
Okay.
I've seen 2 2019 movies, so I cannot.
You can make a top 2.
You can have a
There you go.
top 2 list.
Yeah, I'll try. Patrick, you watch anything else?
No, that's seriously it.
Uh,
Yeah, it's nothing exciting.
Greg.
I actually haven't been doing too bad.
I do have one more. I'm sorry, Greg. Rachel and I actually went to see a movie yesterday, and we went to see. Gosh, now I can't remember the name of it because I want to say "Won't You Be My Neighbor." That's not the right one.
Beautiful
It's
Day in
called
the
Beautiful
Neighborhood.
Day in the Neighborhood. Thank you.
Gotcha.
Because the other title is the documentary
Right.
Yeah.
about him, which is also a great movie. I really enjoyed this. It wasn't what I expected because I thought it was going to be more about Tom Hanks's portrayal of Fred Rogers, but instead it was how Fred Rogers affected another person, another character altogether. And the story was more about that person and what he had gone through with his family issues and everything else.
Oh,
And I
interesting.
really, really enjoyed the movie. So there.
I also went and saw that,
Okay.
and I had a different feeling towards it. I am mixed because everything, like Tom Hanks is freaking incredible as Mr. Rogers. Anytime he's on screen, he is like the show stealer. Everything about the journalist and his story bored me to tears.
Really interesting. Okay.
I've seen that movie before. And I feel like they were just trying to throw everything possible at you. And I don't know if it was because when I went into it, I wanted a Fred Rogers biopic. And it felt very misleading to me. And I think that's why it didn't sit well with me. So
I'm disappointed knowing now that it's not a Fred Rogers biopic, and
He's-
now I don't know if I will go see it.
It really is not.
go and see it because Tom Hanks on screen is incredible. Like
Yeah.
he probably should be nominated for how well he depicted Fred Rogers.
Right.
But he is a supporting cast. He is not the lead in this.
Yeah, I would say if he's nominated, it's going to be supporting
Supporting.
character.
Yeah.
I want a horror Mr. Rogers movie.
Jim Carrey played a really creepy version of Mr. Rogers on In Living Color.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, you should.
I have not. I will.
It's
I will look that up.
It's really creepy.
So
It's really creepy.
that was one that Emily and I had gone out to see. I got a chance to check out Brightburn, which was awesome. Really,
fantastic. Yeah.
really enjoyed that. Really kind of want to see if they do anything more with that because I feel like they could expand the universe.
Cool. I'd be cool with different characters.
Yeah, they were going to do a whole series like that, but I don't know if it really came.
It may be just a lightning struck once, and that's good, which is fine. I'm okay with that. But it'd be interesting to see how they could twist that because if they followed like the DC universe, if they go into a dark Batman as a villain,
Yeah, right.
that would be awesome. And I think that that series would be pretty cool.
I don't like Elizabeth Banks in it. Her face bothers me.
What?
I just don't like Elizabeth Banks in it.
I was okay with that. What I was not anticipating was not really enjoying the movie because both Elizabeth Banks and David Denman being more A-list actors, I thought that would bother me, but I really actually enjoyed their characters.
Yeah.
I was
kidding about Elizabeth Banks. I just wanted to say her face bothers me.
Fine. It was interesting to see Elizabeth Banks step out of a comedic role, which I really appreciated. And there was a couple parts where it was a little rough getting through, but
That's the other news really quick. Sorry, don't fucking do it. Just Elizabeth Banks.
news. Go.
Did you see that Elizabeth Banks is now going to star in a new... she's starring and directing in Invisible Woman?
I did see that.
Yeah.
I hope that's a comedy.
Anyway, sorry, go back.
That was the news.
Brightburn. Yep.
Yeah, so I got to watch Brightburn. I've been keeping up with The Mandalorian, still just as incredible as episode 1, very impressed with it. Kind of came to a realization as I've been flipping through, had a little bit more time to flip through Disney Plus. Nothing's really exciting me. Like, I've gone back to watch some titles that I had seen as a kid and realized, God, these are dumb. Really wildly dumb. So I haven't been really... My attention really has... Just, like, more kiddie-style cartoons. Like, they used to do the Sunday Night Disney whatevers.
Oh, okay.
And so I've been going back and watching those and
Gotcha.
just trying to remember what I was watching as a kid and now seeing it and thinking, oh, wow. I'm intrigued to see what they do from here on out because I think if they are going to be coming out with some original content, it needs to happen quick. Otherwise, you're working with a I had the word and I lost it. Damn it.
Well, I think
Novelty. You're working with a novelty.
Yeah, I was gonna say because like I think a lot of people like you are gonna go back and watch shit they watched as a kid, and I don't think they're gonna rewatch it. I know a ton of people that are like, yeah, I watched what I used to watch as a kid, and now I hate myself, and my childhood's ruined, and I'm over it. And so like if they're not coming out with original content, like people are just gonna watch the couple movies they liked as a kid, and then if they don't have kids themselves, I bet they're gonna kick it off after like 6 months.
I can definitely see the appeal. Like if you have kids, just saying here's Disney Plus, go find something, you'll be fine. Maybe not The Simpsons, but if you already have a lot of that collection with which somebody like me does, what's the point of hanging on to it? You know. So I'm going to give them a couple months. I'm going to see what they do with it. But if they're not pumping out some really good original content, yeah, I'm afraid it's going to go the way of bye-bye. So just a quick wrap up here. Emily and I discovered a newer television show that we've been watching called The Orville. Haven't started watching that until just now, but it's obviously not newer, but really, really enjoy it.
Yes, and the third season is not on Fox. I believe it's on Hulu.
Oh, is it? Okay.
The upcoming third season.
Okay.
They were going to do it on Fox, but then Seth MacFarlane negotiated something else because they wanted to have more money thrown at it.
Sure.
They wanted more creative control over it, and I believe Hulu was the one who picked it up.
Okay. That's fine by me. I mean, Fox is going to give it a little bit more of a, they're going to have a little bit more of a hand on it. So having a Hulu sponsor will be, or a production will be, it'll open things up a little bit more. So that'll be cool.
That's surprising me because isn't Seth MacFarlane's other shows on Fox?
Yes.
I mean, they've held on to his 2 cartoons that he's had on there. I think that's all he's had.
Yeah.
American Dad and Family Guy.
Yeah, and Cleveland Show was
that was the other one.
cut short.
Yeah. So, but he wants creative control.
Right.
Go where the money goes. And then just been watching some Christmas movies. That's it. So
cool.
I watched The Void again because I should be shot.
Oh my god.
I want to know what intrigues you about that movie.
I don't know. Curious. When I figure it out, I'll tell you.
Okay, cool.
I cracked into the Thanksgiving wine at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I watched 20 minutes of Lady and the Tramp, and then got angry.
The live action?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, the original one. And then I haven't been watching anything really. Okay, I watched another Jonestown documentary. But I discovered a podcast called Crime Junkies, and like that's all I've been listening to at work. Like hours and hours and hours of this shit. Just it's really cool. It's really interesting for someone like me. It's true crime. They're just telling like stories of true crime.
Sure.
And she does a ton of research on it, and it's really relaxing to listen to. So yeah, I've been listening more than watching anything. Anything new,
I love
podcasts.
I love to listen to podcasts.
Ironically, even though I'm on a podcast, I don't really, because I kind of use it as more background noise. Right. And if I'm doing something, I can't really listen to someone talk.
Yeah.
But like I was working on something at work that was just like manual data entry, and so like didn't really need to have everything turning on there. So I just was listening to that, and I was like, this shit is great. I definitely recommend it for true crime people.
Nice. Cool.
Oh, I'm hosting. So that's what we've been watching. And on to our topic. We are going to be talking about what we are looking forward to in 2020. We're wrapping up the end of 2019, wrapping up the end of a decade, and we're hoping that we don't have a bunch of dog shit coming down the trailer for us. So what are we looking forward to?
There is some dog shit coming down.
Of course there is.
Some dog shit coming down here, but
we're gonna sift through that shit.
Everybody
we're gonna find some gold.
Everybody write down 5.
Yeah,
5.
I've got at least 5, and we probably all have the same thing because we probably all hit the list that said horror movies 2020 Google Go. You know,
Right.
I feel really attacked right now.
Should we just round robin this shit?
We always have to round robin.
Yeah. Welcome to the list topic again. We haven't done one of those for a while.
We haven't done a list for a long time.
Yeah, you're gonna get lists for the next couple of podcasts.
Yeah.
But so is everybody. I feel like every movie podcast is like, okay, here's what we're looking forward to. Here's what we liked, which is fine. Click off if you don't want to.
Who wants to start?
I'll go ahead.
Yeah, go.
I'm looking forward to our trailer movie. I think Antlers looks fun. I think it looks right up my alley.
I second that. I have Antlers on my list.
Patrick, do you got Antlers on your list?
I do not have Antlers on my list because I did not see the trailer prior to this, and I don't know that I'm going to add it to my list until I see the other trailer as well.
Okay.
Greg?
Yeah, I got one. I'm looking. I just got a list here on IMDb pulled up, and this one called Fantasy Island looks interesting.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Very interesting, based on the 70s. What was it, a game show? Or?
No, it was a TV show.
Okay.
But it was more about people going to the island and getting their, like literally their fantasies fulfilled. Like they wanted to be rich, they wanted to fall in love, they wanted. It was not a horror series.
Not at all.
So I'm curious. I'm not necessarily wanting to track this one down, but I'm curious.
It's
about
also
it.
fucking Blumhouse.
It is Blumhouse.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay. Well,
So
that
hit or
kind
miss.
of kicked the chair out from under me.
But
You know
the
what, do you
poster's
remember
really
the
cool.
days where we would say, "Oh, Jason Blum's tied to that one"?
Right.
Now it's like, oh,
It's fucking Blumhouse.
I don't know.
The poster for it's really cool though.
Yeah. No, I am curious about that one because watching the trailers for it, it's kind of misleading at first. You're kind of going, oh, they made a movie about this? I can't believe that would be interesting. Oh, it's a fucking horror movie.
I actually haven't
That's
seen the trailer
interesting.
yet. I'll have to.
I haven't either.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'll, like I said, I don't know if I'll hint it down, but it'll be a curiosity watch for me. Moving on to me.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to Quiet Place Part 2
Agreed.
Yeah.
to see what happens with that story moving forward. I thoroughly loved the first one. Really looking forward to seeing what they do with Part 2.
Yeah, who's gonna impregnate that dumb bitch this time?
There had to have been condoms. What were they thinking?
Right? Or they had stairs. Like, what the fuck? It's the
Jesus.
the dumbest woman in horror, and I will fight that stance to the end.
Oh. All right.
Let her breathe through that one.
Oh. All right. Josh.
That's
Josh.
getting edited out, isn't it?
No, that's
No,
staying in.
keep that.
We want people to know just how horrible you are.
They know me. They know.
Oh, Josh, yeah.
I wrote a movie down called Underwater. It's a Kristen Stewart film. And I'm not a fan of Kristen Stewart, but she was in a movie last year or the year before called Personal Shopper. That was really, really good.
She was also in a movie this year called Charlie's Angels.
I'm not looking at the Kristen Stewart from like fucking Twilight and all that shit. Like Kristen Stewart, minus this Charlie's Angel reboot bullshit, has actually selected like the way she's choosing the project she does is actually really cool now. She's going a very different direction. She's very haunted by that Twilight bullshit. So, said Personal Shopper I was a fan of. And this underwater film looks really, really interesting. It's kind of like this Alien meets The Abyss, I think, kind of thing. And it's, underwater, like, tragedy kind of film. So
yeah, Kristen Stewart's in it.
Yeah, well, I said, pick and choose, but
I like her.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
I'm not
She's terrible.
Picking the film necessarily based off Kristen Stewart. I think I would see it regardless. But yeah, Underwater. I'm looking forward to that. So that's my pick.
I'm looking forward to, no surprises here, Terrifier 2.
Also on my list.
Yes.
So fun. Especially, like, I loved that interview with the creators of it. They said they were just going to ramp this up, and I was just like, I love
You'll notice, though, that as you do Google searches and stuff, it is not like on people's most anticipated movies of 2020.
That's because it's a fucking
suck.
indie film.
I know. I didn't see any indie films on any of these lists whatsoever.
No. And that was something I was looking at because everything that came up when I was like horror movies 2020, where I was like, these are all like big studio.
They're all studio
films.
films.
I was like, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Greg.
So this one's a PG-13. I'm not overly thrilled about it,
Douche.
but I know it sucks. Well, Underwater's PG-13.
Is it?
Yep.
Douche.
Douche.
I can live with that. I've been called worse.
God damn it, Josh. Gretel and Hansel.
That looks really interesting, actually.
I'm intrigued by it. I know it's probably not going to be as good as I want it to be, but I love when horror movies go back to those fairy tales and they kind of twist and turn and do things like that. So Gretel and Hansel is on my list.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
You just like movies with kids.
So do you.
Anyway.
But.
Douche.
Patrick.
Oh, we are back to me, aren't we?
Yeah.
Did anybody bring up The Collected yet? I know that we talked about
it earlier. It's on my list.
And I really enjoyed. We had reviewed that one, the first one, right? The Collector. Mm-hmm. And Collector 2 came out, and I enjoyed that one. And this is the
Keep
final.
Keep your eyes on your own paper, Josh.
Jesus, Josh, stealing other people's ideas.
I'm just writing down what people.
Eyes ahead.
Say.
Eyes ahead.
Look, this is the only way I got through high school. I'm going to be honest with you.
But this is the third in the Collector series. It sounds like it's the last one as well.
And it's been a big leap year-wise.
Yeah.
From the last one to this one. It's a huge gap.
Yeah. No, I find the character extremely interesting. I'm looking forward to what they're doing with this one.
Cool. I wrote down The Conjuring 3.
Yep.
I'm a fan of just that whole universe. Mm-hmm. So not much beyond that. Just what James Wan has done to create that whole universe and how everything kind of clicks together. It's I'm a fan. So I'm excited for that. That's it.
I just came across this recently, a movie called Trick, and it said it was like a new take on a slasher, and I think that looks fun.
Did you read the synopsis on it?
Not yet.
It sounds really cool.
Okay.
So,
Awesome.
Trick.
I thought it was going to be like a sequel to Trick or Treat.
That's what I thought. That's why I clicked on it, because I was like, finally.
But it's not.
Yeah. No, it still looks cool.
Do you have it pulled up?
Well, that's what I'm trying to pull up right now. A no-nonsense detective tries to track down a mass murderer named Trick, who is terrorizing a small town.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It says 2019, but it's obviously not out now. So
Yeah, that's fine.
Make a surprise appearance on December 31st.
yeah,
Right.
Just to ruin this.
Merry Christmas.
I'm not sure. It says it's in post-production, but I'm after watching the original for my 31 Days of Horror, the Candyman remake.
yep, that's on.
I
my
have
list.
that as a maybe. I love the original Candyman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really over remakes.
Oh, I am too.
And like Candyman's one of my favorites. And if they ruin it, I might take someone down.
They're probably going to ruin it.
It's Jordan Peele. I don't think he's gonna. I think he's gonna keep. The
I don't know.
spirit of that movie.
Look at what he did with Get Out.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Get Out was fantastic.
Oh yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah. So what?
But those were all his original content.
Yeah.
So he's taken on or somebody's IP.
Yeah.
IP. So, but Candyman, looking forward to that.
There's a little film called Last Night in Soho. that I'm looking forward to strictly because it is done by Edgar Wright of Shaun of the Dead fame and that trilogy that he did with Simon Pegg. However, this is his first straight-up horror film. It is not horror comedy. It is a horror film. And I'm interested to see with what he does with it.
Yeah, the last one I wrote down. It's like I've never been on a podcast before, and I don't know I need to speak into the mic.
Get that Doppler effect as you're coming into the microphone.
The last one I wrote down that I'm really looking forward to is Ghostbusters 2020. I am fucking excited for a new Ghostbusters movie, and you can call it horror, you can call it whatever you want to, but today I'm calling it horror, and it's on my fucking list.
It would be horror comedy.
It is horror comedy, so it's comedy. Let's be honest, but there's horror elements to it. So there you go, Ghostbusters. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody in that movie on screen again, minus Egon. I can't think of his real name. Minus that guy.
And we're all...
Harold Ramis.
Harold Ramis.
There we
Thank
go.
you. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody kind of come back. And see if there's anybody unannounced that shows up in that movie. That's what I'm kind of curious about, too. So,
you think that that's the type of movie that there could be tons of cameos in? Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway. I hope Chris Hemsworth is in it. Anyway, keep going.
Wow, that
too.
was quiet.
My last one is a very angry edition. The next Saw. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm mad about it, but like that's one of my absolute favorite of all time series, and I know I will see it. I will be really angry watching the whole thing, but
notice it was not titled Saw, like it wasn't just titled Saw or like a reboot of Saw. It was actually titled Saw 9.
Yeah, the organ,
really?
the organ. What was it? Organ something. They had like a name for it.
Oh,
It was
really?
dumb.
The organ donor.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, I was being a smartass.
No, I think it's like the organ donor or something like that.
Organ liquor.
The organ butt.
Yeah, no, as I said, I'm going to watch it. I look forward to them,
Me
even
too.
though I know they're horrible.
Right.
But every once in a while, I still watch the first one, and I'm like, do you remember when these were good?
Right.
Do you remember when horror was good?
Right?
Does anyone else have anything that they're kind of looking forward to? Any honorable mentions?
Kind of going along that same lines. I'm not excited that it's coming out, but I'll probably go and see it as Halloween Kills.
Yeah. I mean, you can't not go see a fucking Halloween movie.
Right.
Well, it's
kinda
the
hard
next
to, like,
Infinity War,
skip it.
guys.
Shut up, Tiffany.
I am a fan of... I was a big fan of The Grudge. And the new one, kind of reboot's coming out.
Are there trailers for that one yet?
There is, yeah.
Okay. Because that was on my list, but it's one that I'm hesitant.
Who's the... Greg will know this probably better. I can't think of his name. It's going to sound really terrible. Who's the Asian guy in American Pie? He's like he's the Harold and Kumar.
John Cho.
He's in it. Yeah.
Okay.
He's in the new Grudge movie, I believe. And the trailers look really interesting. I mean, I don't know if they did anything new with it or not, but it's...
Because the sequels were not that great.
I didn't even know they made sequels.
Sadako versus Kayako was, fantastic. But I mean...
Yeah,
the Grudge reboot, I mean, I want to be excited about it. I'll probably go see it, but I don't know if you're going to see anything different. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what indie directors do next year because, like,
This
Banana
year-
Splits gave
yeah.
me hope.
Right. But this year, in 2019, this year, indie films, well, just horror across the board just was not that great.
No, it wasn't.
There
but
was just standout indie films, though. I think, like Terrifier and Banana Splits. Trick looks like an indie film.
yeah, and like as I said, I want to see this shift back to more fun horror, and I
Right.
think indie is kind of getting it a little quicker than the big films are. They're trying to get a wider audience, and I think indie directors are like, no, we want horror fans
Right.
to watch our movie.
Now, was there any on your guys' list that you saw, read, or anything like that? Ones that you are probably going to avoid, or you just don't give a shit about, or you just wonder why the hell are they doing it?
Underwater.
The rest of them, anything that I didn't list.
No, I don't think it's a matter of I'm going to avoid this. I think it'll depend on what they do with it. It's hard to really predict, especially for myself who didn't do a whole lot of his homework except for reading synopsis and just kind of looking at the posters or the titles that looked really cool. You really can't judge a book or a movie by its cover. I think that's the end all be all, because there were some movies that we watched in 2019 that we were really excited for at the end of 2018, and we walked out of the theater going, fucking A, I just wasted money on that. And there were others where like, I have no idea what this is about, and oh my god, this was Krull, this is incredible.
Right.
So it's a matter of just keeping an open mind and seeing what the directors and the creators of the content does.
Because there was a couple titles that I ran across that, like, Greg, you'll be happy to know that there is going to be an Escape Room 2.
I saw that.
See that.
Okay.
I probably won't avoid it just because I'm interested to see what they do with watered down Saw movie.
Yeah,
Part 2.
but for me it'll be more
Beginner
like
Saw.
Beginner
yeah,
Saw
for me it'll be more
Junior.
like a red box rental or something like
Right.
that. I don't think I'll go to the theater. But then there's like Purge
5.
Yeah.
No.
and I'll have to watch it because I've seen the other 4.
Right.
Well, and come on, society's going to break down next year anyway. We'll have the Purge.
Exactly.
It's fine. You can just see
it's
it
going to be a
outside.
reality show.
Awesome.
It's no longer a movie. It's just a reality show.
I feel like the Purge 5 exists because the TV show tanked, and they're like, "How we should have just made it into a fucking movie." Purge 5.
I'll probably avoid The Quiet Place too, just because I didn't really.
You didn't like the first one.
No, I obviously not.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I probably won't see the second one. I'm a little curious about what they do, but not enough to pull the trigger and watch it. I just
Even though it's my
care.
entire list, sequels and reboots, I'm just like, I want to see some original fucking kick-ass
Agreed.
content coming out this
Agreed.
year. That's all I want, is just some like legit original shit coming out this year. And since you go to a reboot or you go to a sequel, you kind of already got that story. It's already
Yeah, my
there,
list
but-
there's only 2 films that are not sequels.
Right, it's
or,
tough.
Or reboots.
It's tough, but I mean, I'll go see those. But like, I'm just not looking. Like, I'm not excited about it. Like, this is the first time a Halloween movie's coming out, and I'm just like, eh.
But that's where we're at right now.
Right.
We're digging deep in the vaults of, oh my god, this was amazing back then. Let's reprise it and try and get people back in and
Right.
on that boat. And it's like,
Right.
okay, you've seen the story thousands and thousands of times. End it. Move on. You can come up with something different. People are doing it.
Right.
So
yeah, like even honestly, if they even took like a Michael Myers script and put a different killer in there, I wouldn't even give a shit.
exactly,
Right.
they're trying to hook people in with the IP title. You know, they're afraid that they're not going to make their money back. So hey, let's stick the title Halloween on it, and people will come in droves to see it.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you're only going to be getting stupid enough people to do that for so long.
Or they start making those goddamn like Hellraiser versus Michael Myers and Leprechaun versus Chucky.
I'm sensing a segue.
All those other kind of movies that, you know, we were kind of looking forward to. We did a whole topic on them, you know. Start making those movies. At least it's kind of semi-original content. But you know the characters, but it's original.
Right.
But, you know, stuff like that I think would be kind of cool to see.
Yeah.
I want The Void too.
God damn it.
So then I can watch a different fucking movie than The Void twice a week.
Yeah.
God. Well, speaking of versus movies, let's move on to our feature. We watched one of my all-time favorite movies tonight. We watched Freddy vs. Jason, the guilty pleasure to end all guilty pleasures. What do we got, Patrick? What do we got, the deets?
Freddy vs. Jason 2003, running an hour 37. Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees return to terrorize the teenage population, except this time they're out to get each other, too. IMDb rating 5.7, Metacritic score 37%, Rotten Tomatoes critic score 42%, Rotten Tomatoes audience score 50%.
I'm coming for all of you. I'm going to be under all your beds.
It's low.
All your beds.
I think the Metascore is very low.
Yeah, that's
37
ridiculous.
is
Yeah.
pretty low.
Yeah.
Well, and I say this with so many of the movies that I love. Stop taking this shit seriously. The directors are not. The actors were not. Like, stop going into this with, like, this critical eye expecting something like Sixth Sense or Silence of the Lambs.
Right.
It's not what you're going to get. You're going to have a bad time.
Right.
It's kind of like when you try to go to, like, a family Christmas party sober. Like, you can't do it.
I feel like this is the best we have seen Robert Englund in his Freddy Krueger role, where he looked like he was actually kind of back to that fun, joking around, throwing those one-liner jokes out, Freddy Krueger, and not like, because I feel like in New Nightmare he kind of lost that character, so it was kind of fun to see that return of that Freddy Krueger. I liked at the beginning how he kind of had to explain like how he's been forgotten and he needs Jason to use Jason to bring him back. So all the kids, I feel like they could have just kind of showed that as they did throughout the movie and not have to have this.
It didn't need to be narrated.
No,
not at all.
No.
I was like, yeah, we get it. Okay, we got it. But I also think it's really cool how they brought the two together, how they found a story to bring those two together and make it work, because it could have gone really off of on a shitty path.
I feel like they could have stayed on that path and left Jason's mother out of it.
Yeah,
because that one kind of took me out. And granted, I know this is supposed to be something campy and fun, and it was, but there was some extra cheese on that part. And you don't.
And you're
need...
lactose intolerant for that.
Oh, it's terrible!
Cheese.
It's terrible. I had nasty gas after that.
not like the bad cheese though, not like the cheese that smells like armpit. Like it was good cheese.
Yeah, this is like top quality brie.
Yeah.
This script
cheddar.
had more open holes than Pamela Anderson at a Kid Rock concert.
Jesus.
So none.
Well, you can take it that way, I guess, but
That's what she said.
no, just tons of plot holes in this. Did it matter? No. For what it was, no. I mean, they're talking about, hey, Freddy doesn't like fire, Jason doesn't like water. How can we use this against them? And they never returned to that in any way, shape, or form.
Waiting for Captain Planet to show up.
They did once, but it wasn't from the kids. It was from Freddy, who trapped Jason behind a giant waterfall fence.
And then at the end, when they set the dock on fire. Ugh.
Yeah.
But it never came back as a plan. They never had a plan.
I feel like, you go back to the slasher movies of 80s and the good, and those kids were pretty stupid. I felt like there was some extra crispy stupid going on in this. Like
Some of them kids were baked.
They were just straight dumb, and I almost.
They have to be in these.
I know,
movies.
I know, and that's why I'm tiptoeing a line here, because I like this movie, and I also don't want Maddie to stab me. Although I fear that's what's coming. The movie did not need to revolve around the kids. Use the kids as a vehicle to get to what we all want to see. But there was way too much of, oh my God, they killed Billy, they folded him in half, and oh my God.
But they need that kill count.
No, I understand they need the kill count, but I'm saying don't focus so much on the kids. I felt like there was way too much, like they wanted you to care for these characters. These characters are a kill count. That's all they were.
The movie's called Freddy versus Jason. I wanted to see more Freddy versus Jason.
Exactly. Get us to what we want.
I really don't feel like this movie would have worked without Kelly Rowland in it, and I feel like it should have been soundtracked by Destiny's Child.
I was going to say, would you prefer Beyonce?
But
Dude.
I also don't think this movie
She
would have
was
worked.
horrible.
FBJ
She was
2.
horrible.
I know
in
she's
this
terrible.
movie.
I also don't think this movie would have worked without the Jason Mewes ripoff and the Freddy worm. If those things would not have been in this movie would have not worked.
That was a total ripoff of
It was
Jason
total-
Mewes.
Yeah, it was a total.
Was the
right.
character even called Jay or something like
I
that?
don't know. I don't
was-
remember his name, but it looked. I mean, he wore exactly what Jay does
Yeah.
in Jay and Silent Bob movies. But the Freddy worm was kind of fucking fun.
The CG in this was rough, and I'm not criticizing, because I have to remember this was back in 2003 when they were still building their CG, but I feel like they were using it a little too heavy for what they needed to. This should have just been a practical effects movie and left it alone with that.
It's hard to do practical effects when you're in the world of Freddy Krueger, though.
That is, I mean, it's true, but you look back to all the Nightmare on Elm Streets where he was coming out of the walls.
And most of that was practical effects. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Exactly. So I feel like they could have done it, but because it was newer generation, they were trying to hook in with all the CG. They were using it pretty heavy, and it didn't transfer well 15, 17 years later.
Yeah, probably not.
Maddie, this is one of your favorite movies. Why is it one of your
We just
favorite
torched it.
Defend it, Maddie. I like
I'm not
this
saying
movie a
you-
lot.
I
Just so you know, I'm
enjoy-
on Maddie's side with this movie.
I enjoy this movie
I do
as
too.
well.
Yeah.
For me, part of it is kind of nostalgia. I actually first started watching true horror movies because I was at the theater with my mom in 2003. How old was I? Let's not do that. No, let's not play that game. I was fairly young in 2003, and I walked by a poster of Freddy versus Jason, and I was like, oh, what's that? And my mom said, what the fuck? Not again. Because she had grown up with Freddy and Jason, and so she was like, what is this? And so I went and saw that movie with my mom, And like that kind of really started my love of slasher movies. And like I went home and went to Hollywood Video and started watching like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. And
now I'm curious as to how old you really were.
let me check.
Okay.
You know what? I'm not doing math.
Just take 16 off of your age now, and it's
12?
oh shit.
I hate myself a little more now.
Yeah, I was 12.
Shouldn't have asked.
But yeah, no. So as I said, part of this, my love of it is just, you know, but also, you know, as someone who has like worked on movies, I appreciate watching movies that I can see that people are having fun doing.
Sure.
And like, to me, this is the ultimate, this is the movie that I hold up all the other jokey movies to. If I say this is the Freddy versus Jason of whatever, that's
It's
a
good.
compliment.
Yeah.
Like the third Thor movie, I went and saw that and was like, it was the Freddy versus Jason of Thor, and my boyfriend was really offended. And I was like, no, you don't understand. That's the highest compliment I can give a movie. But I think it just captured the spirit of those characters so well, and it's just it's a good time. I feel like you could show this to people who don't like horror because they're scared of it or whatever. And I don't think they're going to bitch at you.
Who played Jason in this one? Because there's been like 4 or 5 people.
It was not Kane Hodder.
No, it
because
was
he was
some
not,
guy named.
It was Kenneth?
I thought it was Kirk.
I can tell you here.
Patrick, look that up.
I guess it doesn't matter.
It's like
I knew it wasn't Kane
Calvin-
Hodder because he wasn't invited back. He was
Ken
like-
Ken Kurtzinger.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
The studio wanted someone that was taller,
sure.
that was bigger, because Robert Englund is 5'10", which is
Average.
that's a little
over
taller than
average, yeah.
average.
That's as
you know,
tall as
but they
me.
wanted someone that was towering.
Well, I think he was a stunt man.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, in this, like, I even remember back when this movie first came out, like, because this was, like, when studios were really big on, like, hyping the movies up, and they made, like, a web page for this movie, and
Oh,
it was
sure.
ridiculous. Like, it had all their fucking stats. It was, like, those UFC shit. Yeah, it was nuts. I just remember, and I remember, like, I was obsessed with this movie when it came out, like, obsessed. But it was, as I said, it was my first kind of trip into 80s slasher, so of
I
course
get
I
that.
loved it.
No.
So, Maddie, who won? Who won between the two?
Oh, neither of them won. I think you could probably argue Jason.
Because he was fully intact.
Yeah, because all parts were there.
But the end of that movie, from what I've kind of like read a little bit, is Freddy Krueger. Jason's in Freddy Krueger's. He's in a nightmare, and so him holding Freddy's head and him like smiling and winking at the end.
Camera. Yeah,
That's Jason stuck in Freddy's nightmare.
Okay.
So that movie, I would say Freddy won that. I would say Freddy won, although he's not fully intact. That's not due to Jason, by the way. I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting to see. Like, you read kind of some things on the boards about who people thought won that fight. So I was curious who everybody thought won.
I wanted them to make, this is one of the very few movies I wanted them to make a sequel for, because apparently there was like a graphic novel or comic book that incorporated Pinhead into this.
Oh,
I would never get up. I would never do anything again. I would just watch that movie on repeat.
over and over and
How
over.
the
Yeah.
fuck do you?
It's
how
the
did you
void.
get that in there?
They apparently both went to hell, and Pinhead was standing there and was like, "Welcome, fuckers."
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I was like, I read
Shit.
that and was like, that is the coolest thing I've ever heard. Then they were kind of throwing around like Freddy and Jason versus Michael, but like, I don't want two big dumb silent guys in that movie.
Right.
How boring.
Right. That Hellraiser thing would be kind of fucking cool. Is it too far out? Do you think? Is it too far gone
Removed.
to like?
Oh, does
would-
it matter?
I don't know. You know, trying to see Robert Englund played.
He wants to do it again.
Yeah, he does want to do
I
it.
know
wants
he
to do one
does,
more.
but his age would be a
He's totally covered in prosthetics. Why does it matter?
no. I just mean I don't know.
The physicality of his
Physically,
role.
yeah.
Oh, I guess stunt man.
I mean, he wouldn't be doing his stunts or anything like that, but still, I mean, the man
Yeah.
is how old? He was born.
He's oof.
yeah, he's probably what in his 50s, 60s.
No, he's older than that.
Oh, it's older.
He's got to be older than that.
He was born in 47, makes him 72 years.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, if he's
He
got
can
one
do
more,
it.
he's
Yeah, he can do it. I have faith in him, and he'll probably be one of those people that just wants to die on set, haunt the interns.
he dies as Freddy Krueger.
I don't know. I think there was also some really cool kills in this movie. I enjoyed the bed folding.
The
thing.
bed folding thing was
I
pretty
thought that was
awesome.
great.
Some good decapitation.
Yeah. The burning into the back I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Said the worm death and Jason Mewes getting cut in half was kind of fun. Freddy being stabbed through the back with his own arm. I was like, that's pretty fantastic.
It wasn't a death, but I really liked the concrete rebar falling from the sky.
Yeah.
Or falling from the top of the scaffolding. That was really
that
cool.
was cool.
That was a cool one.
So there's some cool spots in this movie. So.
Yeah. I really wish they would have incorporated. You guys remember that scene? It was in Jason X where he like beat that girl in the sleeping bag with another girl in the sleeping bag. If they would have done something like that, this movie would have been perfect.
Was that X or was that the remake of Friday the 13th?
It was X because I never saw the remake.
They did do that in the remake. They did.
Okay.
He took a girl in a sleeping bag and
Lit her on-
slammed her against a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
what I
no, this was in Jason X. He took a girl in a sleeping bag and hit another girl in a sleeping bag.
Oh, is that where like he like transports?
He's in that simulation. Yeah,
I do remember that scene. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That scene's pretty fantastic.
Scene.
Magical.
We've all felt like that. You want to hit a bitch with another bitch.
Well, for playing that game, I want some liquid nitrogen.
That was a good one too.
Anyone else have any thoughts on this glorious, glorious movie?
If you're going to watch it, don't expect a good story. Just sit back and enjoy.
The Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So to me, the best part was the third act.
Oh yeah,
All the way
that just
through.
big fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we wanted.
When he was picking up Kruger and just flying through the windows and busting out things that should never break out in any way, shape, or form if the house was built correctly. That was pretty awesome.
But that shows you how strong Jason was.
Yeah.
No, this is a good movie. It's probably one of the I don't want to say one of the betters. I'm going to hold my tongue on there. It's one of the better horror comedies that I've seen. And I just want to give an honorable mention shout out to the end credit song. I really love that song.
Yeah, this had a really good soundtrack.
Yeah,
just,
I agree.
Destiny's Child.
Shut up, Josh.
That would be great.
No, when you say a horror comedy, yes, definitely, because of the one-liners that they give Robert Englund to do. But I also appreciated that it wasn't just stupid one-liners that he'd been doing in prior sequels to Elm Street. Because there were times it was just like, really, was that necessary or anything like that? Or it just felt like they were really reaching with a lot of those jokes. And it didn't feel that way in this one.
No, this is a good goddamn movie.
I would say it's a movie that you can just. It's not a movie that requires you to really fucking sit there and think about
No, it's
analyze a movie.
a pure entertainment popcorn film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Watch, show it to your kids. All right, so we rate on.
don't do that.
Couple, just real quick, some fast facts. We already talked about Kane Hodder not being Jason in this movie, but it was also the final time that England played Kruger in a movie. He's done like little bit TV things and stuff like that, but not in a movie. $25 million to make it, and it made $82 million domestically, so it was successful. Rob Zombie was asked to direct it.
Oh my
That
god!
would have been a completely different
Completely
movie.
It
different
would have been.
movie.
Oh my god, that would have been fun.
There would have been no popcorn involved in that,
No.
He turned it down to work on 1,000 Corpses.
which is probably the better choice.
I
Yeah.
would think so.
Okay, between those two, yeah, he made the right choice. But oh my god, if they ever remake this movie, Rob Zombie, you have to do it.
And it's essentially been in the works since 1987. And the guy who was working on whoever owns the property of Jason Voorhees kept doing movies to keep him relevant so that they could do a Freddy versus Jason.
Well, that explains a lot of things in the 80s.
Yeah.
Explains so much.
Yeah, because weren't they owned by different studios? And they had trouble bringing them together. I think I remember reading something
I
about
feel
that.
like Platinum Dunes owned them for a little while, and like now they're like
Is it New Line?
I think New Line owns them, but like they're not letting anybody touch that franchise anymore because people want to keep making Jason movies, and nobody's letting them do it.
Probably smart.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that I think that's a good choice. Yeah, I'd be like, fight me, bitch.
No. Nope, that's all I got for fun facts.
So we rate on 3 factors here. We have our fright factor, we have our gore score, and we have our overall, and would we recommend it to a friend? So what did I say first?
Well, you said fright factor, but it's a fear factor.
It's a fear factor.
Same fucking thing.
Potato, tomato.
So, fright factor, fear factor. Holy shit.
1.
Wrap this up. I'm fading fast.
1. I give it a 1. There's nothing to be scared of in this.
Yeah, there's a couple jump scares in there, but it's nothing that made me poop my pants or anything.
Starter pack movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 1, yeah.
So probably 2, 1, 2.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1. So we got the gore score. What do we got?
I would give it a 4 leaning towards a 5 just because I think they went over and above with the gore just to help with the camp. So I'm going to set it a 4-5.
There's definitely lots of blood in it, but I don't know about like guts, intestines, or anything like that. I don't remember.
Decapitations. The one dude got cut
Yeah.
like straight in half.
Yeah, but like not a lot of stuff falling out.
No, not really a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's gore
That's
for
what I'm saying. A
humor's sake.
lot of spurting blood. A lot of spurting blood. I'd probably give it about a 4.
Ridiculous amounts of spurting blood.
I'd give it a 4, I would say.
I'm going to go with a 6, just mainly based off that scene where they're in the cornfield and he's just like cutting people open left and right.
That
and
cornfield scene was actually pretty fucking
I thought it
cool.
was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So just for shits and giggles, I'm going to go with a 6.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll give it a 2-3. I know it's bloody, but same as I said with Banana Splits, it's the spirit in which it's intended. And this was almost, as you said, it was so overboard, it was almost cartoony.
Right.
So now we have the overall score.
I'll give it a 6.5. It is enjoyable. Take anything out of it. Just sit down, press play, and kick your legs up.
I'm going to give it a 6.
I don't do halves, so I'm going to round up and go 7.
10.
Wow.
Come on, Maddie.
Better than The Void?
No, I would
come
give The
on.
Void a 10 too.
Okay.
Reel that in. 10.
But I like them for
Nothing's
you cannot. Those are two totally different movies. It's a totally different tone.
Right.
Yeah, one's super smart and the other one's kind of dumb, but fun.
Just like twins. So
True.
So we'd all recommend this. We're gonna watch it.
Absolutely
Hell yeah.
recommend it.
100%.
Yes.
All right. Before we wrap this up, let's plug away. Who's got shit to pimp out?
I'm Greg the Movie Guy, and I am positively writing movie reviews over at gregthemovieguy.com.
Josh, you got anything?
Hair plugs. Next.
Butt plugs.
I have no plug for a while, so I'm good for right now.
I'll go ahead and say if you would like us to plug anything on here, I know Christmas is coming up and we all have friends that own small businesses. So if you want us to give you a shout out and reach 4 more people, we are more than happy to do that for you.
If you're a fan of the Frightcast, and we know you are, help us out. Head on over to iTunes or whatever platform you're listening to us on and make sure that you rate and review us. Also, check us out on social media. We're all over the place with Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. In fact, let us know what you want us to review. Send us a line. And finally, make sure that you check out our films at midnightfrightfilms.com.
All right, everybody, from myself and Greg and Patrick and goddammit Josh, this is the Midnight Frightcast.
That's Josh's new nickname.
Yes.
He's Goddammit Josh.
God damn it, Josh.
Goddammit Josh. No longer the Princess Scream. It's Goddammit Josh.
I'm going to miss that title.
Have a good night, everybody.